creative merchandise?
I'll go into, there are a lot of creative merchandise options you can do. Infinitely different things, like sell metal pipes that you engrave or something. But I feel the best creative merchandise is, at least recently, Persistent Itch I saw with selling their hot sauce. Consider Source also has hot sauce that they sell. But you have to look at it from a perspective of what's something people actually want casually that you can then also sell them but branded. Like effects pedals as merchandise. Even if it's like a shitty effects pedal. It's something someone would buy even if it wasn't merchandise. But you can double them up. That's just pretty fresh.
Do y'all remember Gamer Girl Bathwater at all? With former influencer Belle Delphine.
For my reputation, I'm going to say no. For the practicality, sadly, yes.
Yeah, unfortunately, we were all part of the online sphere during the... God, that was 2018, 2019?
I just listened to Penguin Zero.
Moist.
Critical.
Nah, but that sold effectively as merch because of the particular crowd that influencer was trying to reach.
Well, there's also the meme value.
That's also true. So at what point does meme value get taken too far? Because I feel like Alpha Andromeda has kind of, to shout out someone in the local scene, has kind of found the nice middle ground of that with their shirts.
Well, to me, that doesn't even really go there because shirts aren't... They can be creative merch, but they're shirts. I, at least, am viewing this from the perspective of, what other objects are there? Like hot sauce, shoes, bricks with, branding on them.
Well, we can take it from square one and say the most basic thing you can do is start from the standard objects, shirts, stickers, and just make them better. Make your shirts handmade, limited runs. I think is a nice way to approach shirts. Making items of clothing aside from shirts and turn your band into a fashion line.
I will real quick say the Alpha Andromeda beer cozies with the PBR branding or aesthetic with the Alpha branding. That is a kind of peak. But yeah, clothing, if you make your thing into a limited streetwear type brand, which is really easy to make a local band into kind of a streetwear feel.
I think Pucifer is a band that part of their appeal is they also operate as a clothing brand, pump out different runs of fashion, and they're actually kind of interesting.
Odd Future had kind of the same thing going. There was a point in the early to mid 2010s where you couldn't go anywhere without seeing that donut with a bite out of it. When Tyler was first kind of blowing up in the mainstream.
I even forget that was Tyler affiliated, to be honest.
Because we associate him with golf at this point, but...
What?
His brand, golf.
I've never heard of her. I don't follow the PGA tournament, man.
Golf wing.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't either.
That's the brand.
Oh, it is.
No. Yep. You can't just throw that line out there.
I'm all right. I have nothing else to add to this.
Golf wing Converse.
I'm gonna call people that out of nowhere. See how they're you fucking golf wing Converse.
We be golf wing conversing.
Creative merchandise is something none of us should be trusted with. Oh, another example. Ghost selling condoms. I bought that shit even though I wasn't having any sex at the time, just because ghost condoms. Yeah, that is a very just thing that's just aesthetic to buy and have.
Yeah, and that's something that's not strictly practical. There is a practical use to it, but
I
you said,
would not trust those in any situation. I don't want to have the devil baby for when it breaks. But how creative merch I feel works is giving you something that even, again, brand ties don't necessarily matter. It just adds this band. The person who you're showing it off to later on doesn't even need to care if they know the band. They just care, oh, that's a cool thing. That's a band tied in thing. So say you buy, not band related. I'm going to go back to the effects pedal thing because in my line of sight right now is a rack of effects pedals. And there are bands who sell effects pedals like as merch basically, or as a thing from them.
Skin tape. I think Boston at one point was doing that.
So you buy an effects pedal, not from the band. It's kind of like a mid effects pedal. I'm like, okay, cool, you just bought a mid effects pedal. Then you buy an effects pedal, and it's from a band that, just any band. It doesn't matter if your friends know who they are, it doesn't matter anything. You can say like, hey, I got this effects pedal from, it's like a band's like effects pedal. That's automatically just like sparks joy on anyone. I don't care if I know the band of somebody who's showing an effects pedal that they bought custom to me. That's just kind of cool. And that's like the theory again with like a hot sauce from a band. I don't care if the hot sauce is good. It's just kind of quirky that, oh, we're going to try this band's hot sauce. And then all the homies get together, they try it out. So it's more of a social sharing thing of what it can do. Because you buy a t-shirt, you're not going to go around to all your friends and hold up a t-shirt and say, look at this t-shirt I bought from a band. But you buy like custom condoms from a band. You're like, look at this right here. That's where I view the value for the creative merchandising.
I think that makes sense from the audience perspective. I'll say as a...
There's different with the artistic perspective, though.
Yeah. If you're going to do merch, it should be good merch. Don't sell hot sauce that's bad.
Or make it blatantly just really bad.
Or that. My starting point would be, if you're thinking of what do we sell as merchandise, you should start with asking yourself, what do we want to communicate with the items we sell? If you sell shirts, you know what that says about you as a band. It says, you're a band. You're checking the boxes. If you sell vinyl records, you are targeting people who listen to music seriously, or at least want to appear to. And then you get into more creative options. Like I read on the internet about a punk band that sold matchbooks with instructions to make a Molotov cocktail. And that's peak creative merch because it's kind of practical. Like, yeah, you can probably buy matchbooks cheaper elsewhere. But the statement that makes, and like Zach said, the amount of people who are going to buy that for the novelty of just saying, I have this matchbox with instructions to make a Molotov cocktail I got from a punk band. It's an interesting enough thing, just that interaction. It doesn't matter if the matches work.
Yeah, because you're probably not going to light them or really use them except for if you want to go out and actually make a Molotov real fast just because it tells you. But you're never going to burn through all those matches.
I probably would. I don't buy things that I don't use.
That's why you're not trusted with My Chemical Romance guitar picks.
Yes.
Motherfucker.
Ooh.
Back to the point before I kill him
for using a guitar pick that you bought.
The Gerard Way signed guitar pick. Before I kill him over a 10-year-old beef. I don't know, one thing, this is entirely off topic because I lost my train of thought while remembering this. I just still don't know how the hell Glass had that one custom print with the super shiny text that I've never seen a print like that on any shirt before. They don't even know how it came, and it was just a one-off. That's the kind of thing that's like really cool to me. It's just like, if I look at it, I'm like, even if you did get it printed somewhere else, how did you get that printed? Consider the source, the shirt Jordan has by them. That's like a full, entire like wraparound print. So the ink would have had to be like injected into it. And I just don't know how they got that printed. But that's pretty cool because it just makes me think about the process of it in opposed to just a printed t-shirt.
And what part does simplicity play in that as well? You could just hypothetically screen print your logo on a shirt, or you could pay someone else to screen print the logo on a shirt. But is simplicity more important when following what represents the band best or what the people might buy best?
There's like a fine line there. So there is merit for if what I think you're talking about is like the difference between just having a white logo on the front that's more buyable, more like pleasing for people to get to represent your band versus an abstract idea that doesn't really just fully represent the band, but like visibly, but aesthetically does.
Exactly.
I mean, from a marketing/artistic perspective, you should have both at the end of the day. But I personally like the idea of your shirt should first and foremost be not an advertisement. If you're making your shirt an advertisement, you're just desperate and just go buy an Instagram ad instead of paying for shirts to then resell. There also does come a point where you need to actually... people don't want to just buy a weird shirt with random stuff on it and not know who it's from or not get to, because there's like the audience perspective of, I want people to know what I'm wearing. Like, if you buy some Gucci, you want people to know you're wearing Gucci. Like, you want to say it right there because you bought it. So that's where the great conundrum, at least for me, comes. But I prefer personally prioritize the aesthetic of it over anything else, because the shirt is a thing you want people to wear outside. And you want people to like actually ask, like, hey, where'd you get that shirt from? Instead of just looking at it and being like, oh, yeah, without even having to have a conversation about it. Just being like, oh, that's so-and-so band. Cool. Don't need to have a dialogue here.
This stems from the broader systemic issue of people wear band shirts, and people as a society should stop wearing band shirts unless they look good.
Yeah, don't do free marketing just because you bought the shirt. It's just you're doing free propaganda.
Well, you're signaling your music tastes. You're trying to connect with peers who recognize the band shirt, trying to get a pat on the back for repping the band, especially metal circles, because metal music is a important source of identity for metal music listeners. And so it's very important that you signal that identity loudly whenever you can, whether there's long hair, makeup, or most often the metal band shirt.
Yeah, the issue of why I don't like, at least personally, the concept of wearing a metal shirt to show that you're a metal person is because I don't care what music you listen to. I care what aesthetic values you have, which generally, yeah, if you listen to the same music I do, you share general aesthetic values. However, if I can communicate my aesthetic values through a non-musical way with clothing, then I get a better read on people. Like, I'd rather wear clothes that signify what I like rather than the music I like.
There was a time when you would signal that you're a metalhead, not by wearing shirts of metal bands, but by wearing all black, maybe cargo pants, spiky bracelets. And so there was a fashion code, not a musical visual code, as in like album art or band logos that gets translated into fashion, often poorly, often with boxy, ill-fitting shirts, because they know they're not selling you fashion, they're selling you a billboard advertisement so you can make friends standing in line for coffee or something.
They're selling you identity. And
Correct.
At what point does the perception of people outside of that circle matter?
Well, it doesn't. That's the nature of the circle.
But I'm saying just with merch as a whole, because I know, speaking from an Impulse Machine perspective, you have a hand tie-dyed shirt with teeth on the front. People will perceive that how they will. It's raw, it's jagged, and every shirt looks different. So it gives a sense of individuality without seeking that out in the first place. Every shirt is different. So it's your shirt at the end of the day. No one else has a shirt like it.
And that's the appeal of any sort of limited release. You're not just signaling that you listen to this band, but you're signaling that you were following this band at a specific cultural moment in which you could have access to this shirt. And if you do like handmade, especially tie-dye, which is kind of random, it's easier to tell one from another, you can communicate even more specifically. Not only was I in this in-group at a specific time, but this is my claim to identity. It's like a unique marker of my status in this group.
And this is not an artist I thought I would ever bring up on the podcast. Want to emphasize first and foremost, my girlfriend Carly Brockman brought this up first. Apparently with Harry Styles touring the U.S.
About to say, if you said Harry Styles, I'm drinking.
Yeah. Dude, I'm glad I gave you a reason to do it.
I've been looking for one.
But apparently for every stop in the U.S., each shirt had a different color. So certain stops had yellow, certain stops had gray, certain stops had red, certain stops had brown.
I would throw hands if I was on a yellow stop.
Carly was on a yellow stop.
She should throw hands. Yeah, no, that's actually pretty fresh.
Yeah. It gives a sense of individuality and simultaneously camaraderie.
I want to know the logistics on that now. Like, do they have the shirts pre-made at like a place at the stop and then
This is, contrary to popular opinion, a theory podcast of sorts. So I would
Okay,
like to
I'm
come
done.
up with a theory of creative merch. There are several ways to approach this. We can start theorizing what counts as creative merch. Because if you just say merch that people haven't seen before, that gets into previous discussions we've had about innovation and creativity, which is, once again, you can etch your name on a piece of scrap metal. And I mean, that's new, but it doesn't strike me as creative.
Why haven't we done that yet?
We do it frequently. We just
What
don't
if we
sell it.
dunked genitalia in bleach and then put it on the shirt and let it set?
Because I don't want to dip my genitalia in bleach. I think
I
number
didn't say
one.
it was yours. There's plenty of third world children we could hire.
The other
See,
way we could start to theorize here is maybe some sort of taxonomy of merchandise. We've got fashion items, which we've been discussing. We've got consumables, which we've discussed a little bit. Hot sauce.
What about taxidermy with roadkill?
I'm still in my monologue.
you don't know how often I've thought about that. But yes.
I watched you pick up a turtle off the side of the road, bro.
Under the consumables category, there's all sorts of alcohol you can sell. Marilyn Manson. Another entire category unto its own is sex objects. You've got the ghost condoms. You've got, I think Rammstein did dildos modeled after all their members.
Marilyn Manson has a dildo.
Marilyn Manson does also have a dildo. Marilyn Manson has a pretty solid array of creative merchandise.
If only his short film actually came out. But yes, stuff like that. I mean, VHS are a classic.
Yeah, creative media. I'd like us to get on the VHS grind because we've got access to that technology.
I just need to order them.
USBs containing various items is another popular one among more interesting bands. I forget the name of the band, but they had a download link on the USB to every concert they had played on that tour. And they would update it as the tour went on. So you could watch every stop of the tour if you bought that USB stick. And then you have a USB.
I really like that.
That's good.
That's kind of fresh.
So what about brand-based beer?
I can get with the alcohol discussion.
I mean, bathtub gin is fairly easy to produce.
True, and some good old moonshine.
Oh, yeah. But at what level of notoriety do you need a liquor license?
See, alcohol tends to only be effective at either the highest levels of fame and or infamy, or at the very underground levels where you can get away with selling it under the table.
We do not sell alcohol under the table. Certified Homer Simpson moment.
Good bit, guys.
Good bit, good bit, good bit.
Let's do it again sometime.
I love Coca-Cola.